Hello, this is Mr. Chance, and this is video specifically for the 8th grade, and we're looking at Chapter 7, Lesson 7 on pronoun and antecedent agreement. There are two vocabulary terms that you need to know. Not that you need to be, that you need to know. The first one is antecedent, and this is the word or words to which a pronoun refers. It usually comes before the pronoun in the sentence. And then there's also indefinite pronoun, and this is a pronoun that does not refer to a specific person, place, thing, or idea. And I'm going to cover indefinite pronouns briefly a little bit later in this video, more towards the end. So I'm pausing here so that you can get this vocabulary copied down. There we go. And I'm going to make that go away now so that I have a little more room to work. So when we're looking at pronoun, antecedent, and agreement, there are 5 rules that we need to be aware of. And those rules are these. Ta-da. Very good. Very good. Now, let's just make sure we're a little clear on what we're talking about here. Let me space these out a little bit, and I'm going to put sentences that illustrate each rule in between. All right, I think that's probably a good idea. And I'm going to switch colors of typing to do that. So the most basic rule is that we use a singular pronoun with a singular antecedent. So for example, the U.S. Constitution is short. It has just over 4,400 words. Wonderful. All right, so in these two sentences, the pronoun is it, refers to U.S. Constitution. U.S. Constitution is singular. It's not male or female. Therefore, it is the appropriate pronoun. Also notice subject kind of matches there a little bit too. Isn't that amazing? All right. And by the same token, we use a plural pronoun with a plural antecedent. And so an example of this as well, as I look over here at my notes, I lost my place. That's not what I meant to do. The dogs howled at the moon. They kept me up half the night. Very good. All right. So again, same idea, right? Pronoun they refers to dogs, more than one, plural, more than one, plural. Now things get a little more complicated. If I, for some strange reason, have a compound subject, but that compound subject refers to the same person, then it's singular. And like I said, this is where things can get some, and you know, and to be honest, you're not going to see this happen too often, but it can happen. So for example, my teacher and debate coach, not couch, debate coach took her classes to the museum. Now, the thing that lets me know that teacher and debate coach are the same person in relation to me is this pronoun is singular, right? If this pronoun were plural, these would be 2 different people. It's singular, they're the same person, all right? And then a singular pronoun with 2 or more antecedents that are joined by or also is treated as singular, okay? So for example, either Jason or Lance left his history book on the table. Okay. Now, only one of them did this. I don't know which one, which is why I say Ooh, I don't know why I did that with my arrow. That's why I say either, right? I don't know which one, okay? But since it's only one of the two, is singular. Now, if I have a compound antecedent that's joined by and, that's different because with this, it's not a choice. All of them get lumped together, right? So George Washington and James Madison signed the Constitution. They became presidents. Ah, very good. Okay, so when I look at this, what I see is both of these guys, Washington and Madison, both became presidents. They, right? It's not or, it's both of them. All right. So keep these rules in mind, and most of your difficulties with a pronoun antecedent agreement will go away if you keep these in mind. Now, indefinite pronouns can complicate things just a little bit. So let's look at indefinite pronouns. So first, let me clear this away again. Yay, that's fun. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, an indefinite pronoun is a pronoun that does not refer to a specific person, place, thing, or idea, right? And there are several indefinite pronouns that you need to know. All right. So here we go. Boop. These are them. All right. And again, let me space things out a little bit. All right. Excellent. So some indefinite pronouns are always singular, and they're listed there, starting with anybody, ending with something. Some of them are always plural, starting with both, ending, with several. And then some of them can be either singular or plural, depending on how they're used. And this is really where the trickiness can get in. So again, let's look at some quick examples of what we're talking about here. All right. So if I were to say, neither of the boys brought his notebook. Neither is singular. Okay, and so this is one of these strange things about English. Neither is singular, but in this I'm talking about more than one. It's still singular. All right. And since it's talking about two boys, his, right? Now, if I was unclear on whether I was talking about boys or girls, or if I was talking about boys or girls, but let's just say neither of the students brought his notebook. What has become a customary in English now is to say his or her. And I want to understand this is more a matter of convention than it is a strict rule. But in any event, there you go. It's still singular. His, her, still singular. All right. Now, when I look at the ones that are plural, such as both, few, many, and several, many had finished their tours. Well, that's actually not a very, oh, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking verbs. That works. Pronouns. There. Many is more than one person. Their tours. Okay. Now, if you think about it this way, if I were to stick a prepositional phrase in here, and I were to say many of the students, it's more obvious that things are plural, right? I couldn't say many of the student had finished their tour. That doesn't even make sense, right? Many of the students, okay? Now, and that trick with the prepositional phrases is what can help with these ones that can be both singular or plural depending on how they're used. So for example, if I were to say most of the handwriting, handwriting, singular, right, is legible, isn't it? Right? It being the pronoun. Okay, so in this case, most is singular. It's almost like a collective noun in a way, as opposed to most of the students had their chance to see the document. All right. See, now here, students is plural. This means most is plural, means I need to use a plural pronoun when referring back. All right. So I've got a pronoun referring back to a pronoun. So, I mean, it can happen. Antecedents for pronouns aren't always nouns, so keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it for this. There is an activity that you'll be doing. I won't be doing it. You'll be doing. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much, and we are done with this video.